I'm back. Rudrance for our Black and White Network. Let's talk about Bill Maher. I mean, every Saturday morning I get up and Bill Maher is trending. Here we are, right here. There is Bill Maher, and I promise you these tweets are going to get higher as we go. Now, I always disclose conservative, Republican, but a 30-year Bill Maher watcher. I have consumed his product politically incorrect. I literally just said all this in a sports video. But I want people to know, okay? I don't need an echo chamber. Look, I voted for Donald Trump. Bill Maher hates Donald Trump with a passion of 1,000 white-hot suns. But all of a sudden, something interesting happened last night. It seems, and I think it's pretty clear, he doesn't hate Ron DeSantis. Now, he just got through filming Adulting, his newest stand-up in Florida. He loves how Florida handled the pandemic. He does not think all the LGBTQ plus crap should be promoted in the schools. He absolutely detests wokeness and cancel culture. He's been fighting that for years. Well, who does that sound like? It sounds a lot like Ron DeSantis. I just literally said in that sports video, I don't think Bill Maher would ever vote Republican. But I said, I don't know. And then I saw this morning. And yeah, he went after Trump. But he also gave us some clues as to where he actually stands on Ron DeSantis. And he sounds like somebody, frankly, that is very much considering voting for Ron DeSantis. I mean, he's talking about Trump here, but he's asked about DeSantis, and he makes it clear, in his opinion, and you got to wonder about crossover votes. Look, you need crossover votes to win presidential elections, people. You've got to have it. And he makes it clear. He thinks DeSantis is much better than Trump. And for a lot of strange reasons. And guys, in Republican circles right now, there are a lot of conversations about DeSantis versus Trump. I've had it with people that are subscribers on this channel. I've had it with personal friends of mine. I will tell you, everybody basically says, actually everybody has told me we will vote for Trump if that's who it is. But a lot of folks are pulling for DeSantis right now. I'm just saying. It is a thing. It is a big thing behind the scenes. Bill Maher insists DeSantis would be, quote, way better than Trump. He's not certifiably insane. Now, look, I don't think any of us really believe Donald Trump is insane. Okay? But this is more about Bill Maher tipping a nod towards a Republican potential presidential candidate. And it's really interesting. Real-time host Bill Maher pushed back against the notion that President Ron DeSantis would be the same, if not worse, than having former President Donald Trump back in the White House, Fox News. Maher kicked off the panel discussion Friday with the ongoing January 6th House Select Committee hearings and cited a poll that showed 54% of Americans believe the former president should be charged with a crime, including 21% of Republicans. Wow, who are these Republicans? Quote, but the committee says they will not refer to the Justice Department. Why? Maher asked. Why isn't this moving into that realm? If we don't, it will just happen again. No? Question mark. Breaking Points podcast co-host Crystal Ball, she's a nutcase, responded by knocking the, quote, fundamental lack of seriousness from Democrats for not tackling the question as to what truly led to the events of January 6th, where a large portion of the country does not believe in the results of the presidential election. She also panned the Democratic-led strategy of propping up Republicans in a primary race who denied 2020 election legitimacy with hopes of defeating them easier in the November midterms. But that's not really my question, Maher said. I mean, yes, if the guy robbed the liquor store, let's look into why he did that. But he also needs to be arrested for robbing the liquor store. Okay, so we get through that and we get down to this. Ball says she has, quote, no issue with Trump being prosecuted, but insisted that's not going to solve our problem, suggesting that Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis would follow in Trump's footsteps. Quote, do you think Ron DeSantis is going to be way better than Donald Trump? Question mark. Ball asked. Maher responded by saying, quote, yes, I do. And he quickly responded, raising his hand. Quote, he hasn't shown contempt for the democratic process, Kerchak told Ball. Quote, he's not certifiably insane. That's a great one to start off with. You know what Ron DeSantis won't be doing? He won't be poop tweeting every day, and it won't be like having feuds with Bette Midler on Twitter. He's not an insane person. And so that's where we're going to lay off. But he made it clear he's got much more partialness towards DeSantis, and he doesn't have, and I think this is key, he doesn't have venom towards DeSantis. Now, he may develop it. I don't know. But I got Republican friends that have almost said that exact line about Trump. He feuds too much with celebrities, people on Twitter, etc., etc., etc. In social media. My father, I said, lifelong Republican, voted for Trump both times, but he couldn't stand that part of Trump. Okay? And my dad liked Ron DeSantis. Unfortunately, my dad's deceased now. He would have loved Ron DeSantis. I mean, the more and more that we're seeing out of DeSantis, and Bill Maher sounds like a guy that is open now to the idea of possibly voting Republican. If it's DeSantis, he's not voting for Trump. But the thing you got to ask yourself is, how many crossover votes are laying out there because of that? I had a discussion. My brother-in-law voted for Trump. He likes Trump, but he's pulling for DeSantis. And I said, why? And he said, look, the Democrats are going to come out and vote against Trump out of spite. It's going to motivate Democrats to get up off their asses and go to the polls because they can't stand Trump. They hate him. We love the fact that they hate him. We do. But he was like, Democrats just aren't going to have the venom towards DeSantis that they have for Trump when it comes time to cast a vote. And my brother-in-law also doesn't like Trump feuding with entertainers and shit. He just can't stand it. And so you get the point. Also, I've had a couple of people tell me they're not a big fan of the fact that Trump endorsed Dr. Oz. I don't like that, frankly. I don't like Dr. Oz. I'm keeping it real. I've seen too many videos of him supporting some stuff that I don't agree with. Transgender shit, all of that, okay? Some of that ideology, I don't like that shit. So you get the point. There's been a couple of head scratchers on endorsements. But this is not about pissing on Trump. It's not. I mean, we know Bill Maher can't stand Trump. But it's interesting. This is about the fact that Bill Maher sounds open for business. If the right Republican, and I don't think I'd have said this 6 months ago, but if the right Republican showed up as a presidential candidate, he would consider voting for that guy. And I find this interesting. I wonder, I very much am curious to know what the subscriber base feels about this. Okay, because people will say, well, we don't need Bill Maher's approval and or support. No, but you might need some of the people that he influences on the other side to win a presidential election later. We've got to have a Republican back in office. Okay? And look, Ron DeSantis puts America first, just like Trump. All right. So it's something to think about. It's kind of the food for thought thing. Very interesting that Trump was, that Bill Maher sounds borderline pro Ron DeSantis here. He spent a bunch of time in Florida the last 2 years. Something to think about. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. Link in the description. Use promo code USA First, all one word. USA First, all one word. 25% off now.